to these guys? Are these hot? We ready to roll? Check, check. How's it going? I'm Brian Baker.
And I'm Andrew Kittredge. Welcome to The Chill.
But this is how we chill. But this is how we chill. But this is how we chill. But this is how we chill.
Let her rip, dude. Age before beauty.
I got a good question here. I think this is a good one.
All right.
What's your favorite post-game meal or snack?
Whew. That is a phenomenal start. I mean, being here, it's obvious that the crab cake is going to be...
Crab cakes are phenomenal.
Yeah, whenever especially when we win a game, I go in to the kitchen and I see crab cakes. That's going to be at the top of the list. Maybe some fish with it, maybe like some rice, some veggies, pretty basic stuff, but I'm a crab cake guy, especially never having really had them until I got here, but A1.
I think for me, same thing. The food here is so good that every night there's something good. The barbecue, the mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going just like anywhere, Road City, Getaway Day Pizza is my go-to post-game meal.
Oh.
I might be a little bit addicted to pizza. Pizza is my thing. So anytime we get that in the clubhouse, that's my favorite post-game meal.
Heck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got a banger for you. What would you be doing if you weren't a professional baseball player?
Somebody asked me this question the other day. I something outdoors. I like the idea of construction. I don't know, real estate, something that I'm not in an office.
Okay.
Anything. I don't know. What about you?
Playing some other sport, whatever profession will take me.
Hey, I like your answer actually.
Yeah.
I'll say professional
I mean,
athlete,
along
just
the
not
same
baseball.
lines though. We don't want to be in an office. I'm not terribly smart, you know. I'm pretty athletic. I played a bunch of sports growing up, so it's like that was my goal from the beginning. Like literally middle school, it's like, okay, I don't really know. You know, you got my school teacher mom telling me, you know, you want to be an engineer, you want to be this. I'm like, I just like sports. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
So,
the same way.
I don't know if I could have made it in anything. I was pretty good at basketball for a little bit. I think golf would probably.
I would love to be a professional golfer.
Yeah, I think that's probably a common answer.
If you've seen me play, though, you know that's not possible.
You got some work to do.
You know it's not possible.
I get my work in the off season. I think I could maybe swing.
You can
it,
hang?
but
All right. Senior tour after we're done playing. Let's go.
I got some time. I got 20 years until I'm 50. I think that's the
I'm a
age.
little ahead of you, but we'll work on it. All right.
We got some time to work on it.
This is a good one.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a good one. What was your welcome to the league moment?
Ooh. Not like actually what like when I realized, you know, like this is it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think it's kind of like that.
Actually, I have a good one for this.
Okay.
I have a good one. So this is going to be a weird example of one of those. I'm traveling to make my first road trip. We're going to New York, and this is in 2021. I was with the Blue Jays at the time, but I don't know how anything works. So we get to the hotel, go to my room, realize that my suitcase is just MIA, right? So I text my buddy on the team who's been in the big leagues for a couple months, right? Like he's the veteran that I know, the veteran. And I'm like, dude, where are our suitcases? Like, am I missing something here? Did I leave it on the plane and I'm just totally screwed right now? And he's like, no, dude, like this is the big leagues. Wait in your room and they will bring it to your room. And I thought it was like, at the time, I was like, this is absolutely nuts. Like, this is
I think everyone goes through that though a little bit.
This is the coolest thing ever. Like,
awesome.
I'm used to like dragging this thing all over the place. And it's literally that. That was, for me, it was like, okay, wow, this is actually the big leagues. This is weird, but cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It is cool. What about you?
I'm going to go a different route. I mean, I've had some of those similar things. Like early on, you're just trying to get your bearings, and you don't really know where you're going or anything. You're just asking a lot of questions. My welcome to the big leagues moment happened on the field. I think I had pitched in 2 or 3 games in my career to this point, and then we go to New York and we're playing at Yankee Stadium, and it's a tight game at the end, and we're kind of running out of pitching, and it's tied, and I am throwing, and we're all just Chapman's throwing the other, on the other side, and I'm just thinking like, man, was watching this guy on TV not that long ago. So I get through my first inning, I go back out. We're in extra innings at Yankee Stadium. The place is rocking. It's crazy loud. And I give up a walk-off home run to Brett Gardner. And I've never heard a stadium that loud at that point in my life. So I think that was my welcome to the big leagues moment.
Not as happy.
Like a week into the big leagues. I'm giving up a walk-off home run at Yankee Stadium. That was
welcome to it.
Was probably welcome to it. Yeah.
It's pretty cool though, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's hindsight, I think it's pretty cool.
Yes.
In the moment, I didn't.
Pretty bummed.
But yeah, it was. I think afterwards, I was like, as much as I just blew the game, it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Perspective is huge.
Looking back now, it's cool. Yeah, at the moment it wasn't.
On field wise, like my favorite player growing up, Albert Pujols. I'm making my first career start. Opening in St. Louis the year that he came back there, so in 22. To this day, the only batter that before they step in the box kind of like give me like a head nod or something, and it was Albert Pujols doing it to me, and at that moment in the middle of the game, like I'm getting ready to throw a pitch, I had to step off. Luckily, there's no pitch clock at this time. I had to step off and be like, oh my gosh, Albert Pujols just acknowledged that I existed and we're about to face each other. Like,
that's awesome.
And yeah, it was one of the coolest moments of my life. So that's probably a better example.
I think that's one of the coolest things about being in the big leagues is, you get to see players, former players, current players, guys that you grew up either watching on TV or, your heroes or whatever.
100%.
So it is
100%.
One thing that I think, I don't know, we forget to kind of acknowledge sometimes, but that's pretty cool.
For sure, yeah. We get into that competitive mode and it gets, a little bit of tunnel vision, but
there's still a kid in us somewhere, right?
For sure, yeah. In that moment, I was the 7-year-old with the St. Louis Cardinals hat on, like, this is my favorite player ever. This is so awesome. And I ended up serving him a couple of fastballs down the middle, and luckily he didn't do too much damage on it, so it worked out well for me in both regards.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's a good one.
That's cool. What else you got over there?
Next. Ooh, that's a good one. We're saving that one, though. Oh, let's get personal, kid. How did you meet your significant other?
It's not that exciting of a story, I don't think. I mean, we were in college. I lived in a huge house with a bunch of baseball players, and I think there was 9 of us.
Nice.
And one of my teammates' high school girlfriend, who is now wife, and they're still really good friends of ours, she was playing softball at a different school with my now wife, and they just brought her over to the house one time, and we were hanging out and
hit it off.
I don't have game or anything like that. I don't know. I don't really know what that is, but I thought what I did was pretty smooth in the moment. I just took my phone, I unlocked it, I opened it to the phone, and I just like put it on her lap, like, hey, you just give me your number, and I didn't even ask. I just set it on her lap.
She had no other option.
That was the extent of my game, and I guess it worked. So
and look at you now.
Here we are, yeah.
Heck yeah.
What about you? You're engaged, correct?
Correct, yeah. Getting married this year. Big time stuff. Yeah, not that exciting either. Honestly, I was actually freshly injured, coming off of my low A season. I tore my lat. I went to a different gym, moved in the off season, and was trying to get some care and kind of rehab my lat and get back. And she actually just happened to come into the gym that I was working out at, and kind of became friends through a bunch of mutual friends in the gym. She was new to town. We were friends for 3 or 4 years, honestly, like best friends. And then it kind of just, once COVID hit, everybody was locked inside and hanging in smaller groups, and we were part of that smaller group, and just got closer and closer as years went on. And a few years ago, I was like, okay, like I think we're more than friends. Like what's going on here? So it was a very slow progression, but I'm the same way. I don't have much game.
Yeah.
So I'm a pretty introverted person, despite chilling right now, obviously.
No, I'm the same.
So it takes me a while to get to know people, but
yeah, but that's the good way to do it, right?
For sure.
I don't want to rush into it.
Yeah.
I'm out of questions on my cards, so but I mustache you a question about your mustache.
What do you got?
How'd that come about?
Well,
I don't know anybody else that's wearing one right now.
Seems to be the move in the clubhouse right now. So
that's right.
Quite honestly, I ran into locked eyes with Zach Eflin, and I didn't even see his eyes. Actually, I just locked onto that beautiful mustache, And
it's taken over the clubhouse.
yeah.
I'm happy to be a part of it, proud of it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm proud of mine yet.
You should be. It looks great.
We got some work to do. I'm not a huge mustache guy, but if it's for the boys, you know, for the team, for the morale, we're all going to look stupid together if we have to, right?
Exactly.
You know,
yep.
So.
Speaking of our wives, I think my wife probably hates this, but.
I think I got one more right here. Ooh. Baseball is a grueling sport. How do you overcome those inevitable obstacles?
Ooh, there's a deeper question.
Yeah.
I think I kind of had to learn some of this the hard way as a young player, but I had some good older veterans that really kind of helped me kind of discover this thing about just trying to be the same player, same teammate, same person every day you walk into the clubhouse. This game has got so much failure in it. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. So how you bounce back and recover from that is a huge part of it, because you're going to deal with failure. So that's what I try to do. I try to be the same guy regardless of what happened the night before when I walked through those doors. Somebody put it in a different way. No one should know how you played last night based on how you walk in the door, good or bad. So
I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of, but it's one of those things. It's ongoing. You have to kind of work at that. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to let that go," and because we're human.
It's an acquired skill.
And like I said, this game's got a lot of failure in it. So I think your teammates respect you more. I think no one wants to see the guy pouting in the corner. You know.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's what I try to do. Am I always good at it? No, but
for sure.
I try to be the same guy every day.
I'm a big Ted Lasso guy, so it's like be a goldfish, you know, having the short-term memory. For me, like in terms of, you know, overcoming obstacles and stuff like that, it's a one day at a time thing. Like I'm so, especially when the season starts, like probably to a fault. Like I have no idea what's happening in like 3 days. Like I'm literally taking on that day.
You don't know who you're playing the next series.
Right. I'm taking on that day and then going from there. But yeah, it's you got to have a short memory, to be honest, especially like you said, there's guys that are in the Hall of Fame that failed 70% of the time, you know, batting wise, and pitching can be the same way. It's like, you're not going to have your best stuff. Get this bee out of here.
Just trying to get my drink.
You're not going to have your best stuff most of the time. So yeah, it's about, you know, competing with what you have and then kind of just taking it from there, and fresh start each day for me.
It's a long season.
That's the other aspect to this question I was going to ask you, is like, obviously baseball is such a big part of our lives and it's our job, right? But like in terms of that reset or like just kind of getting away from the game, you obviously have like your family and everybody just to kind of, you know, do you have any other like hobby or anything that you do that's, you know, that does kind of get you away from it if you need to?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I got my family. I got 2 boys, and
well, that's
it make it pretty
in
easy
itself.
to forget about a bad outing when I get home, because they don't know or care about it. You know,
right.
I mean, they want me to do well, but I'm still dad at the point when I get home. So
Take
at home, it's easy. On the road, honestly, I mean, I think I'm like most other guys. I'll play video games, watch TV.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty much just get my mind off of the game as much as you can. You know, I think there's some healthy things to think about a little bit, but man, if you start obsessing about it, you'll lose sleep. You know, it's just,
for sure,
it'll just wear you out. And for a long season, you can't be worn out. So try not to think too much about baseball, which is hard. What about you?
I'm kind of the same. I mean, especially off season, where it's like I'm getting detached a little bit, and I'm gonna be playing golf a lot and going to the beach, and I've got my hobbies there that are, you know, non-baseball related. And during the season, it's I've got probably a group of 10 or so of my best friends from high school that will hop on Xbox and hop at a party chat, and it's nothing to do with baseball. We're usually just getting our butts kicked at some video game and blaming each other.
Hard to think about baseball when you're saving the world, right?
Yeah. We're usually just getting our butts kicked and blaming each other for it, and you know, talking smack, and that tends to It tends to make me not think about baseball too much, so it's always a good time. We're so lucky to be able to have, the entire team with us, traveling across the country the whole year. Just being able to get on the plane or whatever and just relax and play some cards with the guys or whatever it may be.
It's some of the most fun stuff that we get to do during the season is hanging out.
It's easy to take for granted, but I think that over the long haul, it's awesome to have that.
But this is how we chill. But this is how we chill.